Okay, I will call today's August 21st Historical Commission meeting to order. As far as preliminary matters are concerned, I will pass it off to JG behind me for the roll call.
Larry Dorsey.
Here.
Karen Woligorsky.
Here.
Errol Woligorsky. Mary Cartwright.
Here.
Scott Phillips.
Here.
Dalton Villette.
Here.
Susan Stanish.
Here.
Jill Roberts.
Here.
Maureen Hogue.
Here.
Councilmember Craycraft.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, thank you very much. Do I have a motion to approve today's agenda?
I so move.
I'll second. Motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda passes unanimously. Now I will open up the floor to public comment. Not seeing anyone here. Anyone on Zoom?
No.
All right, public comment is closed. Next on the agenda, general updates and debriefing. Within updates, we have correspondences completed and required.
I did send something to Jade, just a sort of a general thank you. It was sort of hard to know how to word, but anyway, I just thanked her for her interest and wished her the best in the future, kind of thing. JG's going to get me the TiVo company address to thank them and let them know that we bought the drum map. And I thought I'd write the WITs again and thank them and let them know that we spent the money on the drum map, towards the drum map.
Oh, okay, good.
But anything else, anybody?
Mary, I didn't hear whether you mentioned it or not. We need to send a thank you to Terry Fairbanks for the match box holder.
Okay.
Had you mentioned that? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Thank you.
And do you have Twyla, Karen? Twyla Pap for the Skittles
The
game
Twyla.
and the Irons.
The Skittles.
Skittles game.
Skittles
What's
game and
Twyla's last
irons,
name
yeah.
again?
Pap.
P-A-P-P?
Just one P.
One
Just one P.
Two Ps, I guess. P-A-P.
Okay.
Would it be appropriate for the thank you note to go to Clint for helping out on Monday?
Yes, I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then our guest Angelique, who's come a couple times, did a bunch of research for us on the dugout house in the hill. She's come and visited twice, and she stays and
Oh,
asks
no, I
a
hear
lot of
you.
questions,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to see things in the basement. Very, very engaged.
Yeah.
And I met her at another social engagement, and of which had a lot of old-time Superior, original Rock Creek homeowners, and I was like, does anyone know about the dugout house? We're trying to get more information. And she went and spent a couple hours researching it, printed it out, and brought it to us.
Oh, wow.
So I can, if it's appropriate, I'll get her address, her
Okay.
last name and address.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
To do that. So we now know the address, we know where it came from the city, we know what it was originally purchased for, we know how to get the rest of the information from the county, so. And
You
it's
could
in the
share
document.
that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely really curious with that.
The address is 414 McCaslin. So like
Okay.
once she found that, it kind of opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the file cabinet.
Okay.
We now have started to build documents into that. So left-hand file cabinet, top drawer.
Perfect.
And it's in catalog. So check all the boxes.
Excellent.
Does it happen to show up in the original historic Superior surveys, or is it?
I don't know.
If it's outside of original town, it may not?
It may not, and it was not as old as we thought it was.
No, it wasn't terribly old.
It was, a family deeded the land to be some type of rehabilitation and care facility. So like and then the daughter, don't quote me on the different things. The family member who they were doing this to get the care for, and others like her passed away, so they didn't proceed with it. And they just had this original place they built.
Don't worry, you're not on record or anything.
Yeah, I know, but I'm on, who knows who's watching, right? So it's like, don't quote me on the specifics, because it was, I haven't read, she brought us, I don't know, 10, 20 pages, so I haven't read it all.
Wow.
But, so there's quite a bit of interesting background, but I want to say it was in let me give loose numbers, 1970s or 80s, maybe even 90s. It was not, we all thought it had been there 7,500 years, and it wasn't that old, so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That would be a fun mini display. What was this old dugout?
Yeah.
With a little bit about it.
Yeah.
We'll get our.
Yeah, especially if we could find a photo of it.
Yeah.
It would go in the shadow box. The infamous shadow box that nearly killed Catherine.
I'm on it.
So, those were mine. I'll get Angelique's address for you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other additional correspondences? All right. Next, we have the Marshall Fire Remembrance Subcommittee. We had a meeting recently, just kind of touching on some of our previous discussions with the Louisville City Council and how the presentation went there. We are going to be getting some additional updates on the geotech survey. If they haven't already been completed yet, maybe JG can fill us in. Amazing. So that's so good, we're able to finally get that done. And then we're just kind of waiting for some additional details when it comes to formally launching the fundraising apparatus. And I think if, knock on wood, we might be able to proceed maybe next month to actually start with the fundraising. JG, or hopefully.
I was going to say, hopefully, it's really all sitting with Colorado Gives right now.
May I say, I hadn't seen that presentation until Monday's meeting. I was just so impressed. I am just so impressed. It is beautiful.
It's really incredible design, incredible work that they've been doing. So I know once we kind of iron everything out with Colorado Gives, just as kind of the actual mechanisms to accept donations, and we start doing kind of the solicitation fundraising push, we're going to be giving that presentation like more regularly to residents around here, and obviously to those at first kind of the high profile donors who could give sizable amounts to actually start the project. And we want to, I know we've been working with the town to kind of organize something for the 5-year anniversary too. And I know Davis is interested in being involved in that, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have details and photos available at the actual event itself. But chugging along there. Next, we have the RFI log and mass media list.
Oh, I distributed it electronically. It indicates the carry visit. Yeah. Are there any other inputs that should go in there?
And thank her for the stroll and stroll list too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that
Yeah,
later.
that's on the
Yeah.
agenda later.
Excellent.
All right, next we have volunteers. I believe I coordinated with Nancy Thomas at least to attend August 1st, so I don't know if she attended. Oh, wonderful.
She was there.
Any other additional details on volunteers? I don't think I've heard anything else. No. All right. Donors Lions Club and recent donations. Lions Club isn't here, so I don't think anything Lions Club specifically related. Any other kind of donors we'd like to mention or discuss?
We got this really cool Skittles game.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Little tiny bowling pins.
Little bowling
It's in a
pins.
wooden ball, and it's like in pristine condition. It's really cool.
Once again, I don't know if I told everybody or not, but Terry Fairbanks got a picture of our old potbelly stove, and his parents or grandparents have 4 of them stored up in Estes Park, and he thinks one of them might be like the one of Denzel's that we have. So we just have to wait until he gets back up to Estes Park to take pictures of what he has, and then we can see if we may have a possibility of a potbelly stove.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
great.
yes. Fingers crossed there.
Definitely.
All right, nothing else there. Collection man. Oh,
I'm sorry. sorry. I just wanted to let everybody know that Leslie and Liam are going to deliver the clock today.
Today?
Yeah, it might be done by the time this meeting's over.
Yeah. Excellent. Collection management.
So the big items to be hung all got hung last week at the work session.
Yay, Liam.
Yeah, yay, Liam.
Yeah.
He put up the shadow box. We're going to secure it a little better to the wall, which was a frame that we had in the basement. We're not quite sure where it came from or how we got it.
I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was recorded.
Okay.
I picked it up.
So we cleaned it up and added a cork. The fabric on the back was really worn, so we added cork so we can do rotating things in it. And we pulled 2 baby bibs, what they called a baby wallet, which is what today we could probably call a baby book, and a booklet of knitting patterns for children's clothes that we're going to put up first, and we're going to move the high chair under it for that one. So that went up. We also got the soapbox up, and we were able to make a display with the little milk cap rings and put them through. What else did we do, Susan?
Do the others of you know about these milk cap rings? I didn't know about them until I saw them.
Yeah, so we've got dozens
they were
of
there.
them.
Of
I mean,
different-
dozens.
Different
So
dairies and different.
we picked
Yeah.
the best ones
Yeah.
that were all different and put them into one of the little mini archival boxes that you had in there that are black with archival tape. And it looks like they're framed for display, and propped them up on one of the stands and put it in the shelf, right?
And they're the metal ring versions?
They go, no, they're all
just
paper.
Okay,
But it's the
yeah.
paper insert
So-
that went in the lid.
Yeah, they're called pogs, and they used
Pogs?
to,
Okay.
and they used to be games that kids
Yeah.
played with pogs and collected them and played games.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they had a bunch of messages in them and different things, yeah. So we took one of each of them, and then we put the rest, just did our archival thing on them. The other thing is on the items we identified for Dia session, I did hear back from Jim, and he would like us to find a nice home for the toaster and the log cabin. I'm getting no takers as I reach
Jim
out.
Vanette.
Jim Vanette, yeah. Weckers have not written back on their item. And then, so I haven't put that one out because we haven't heard from them. And then with the desk and the extra white gas iron that is the same model that Wally and you gave us, but it's in not as good a condition. We were going to de-accession that. So I have had no takers for any of that. So we need to decide what to do.
Didn't someone from Ann Friends
They
take
already
that,
came
yes?
back. No, she wanted it, but as a volunteer, she can't accept it. And their board said, no. I know. Joan, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was ready to take it and do everything with it and just have it appear founded collection, and they wouldn't take it.
Who would do something like that?
I don't know.
There can be advantages to just being us and not having a professional people around, what I hear. I can say that.
Okay. I heard that from
Strike that from the record.
I heard that from
She's
4
not
different
a-
people on Monday.
Yeah.
It was a
JG's
message
part of it.
loud and clear.
Jim Vanette has quite a list there.
Yes, and he actually, we had quite the email going back and forth, and he's compiling another list of additional things for us to consider.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 versions of that.
Yeah, so this is a new list.
Yeah.
This is above and beyond that one. So, yeah.
but, yeah,
Yeah.
trying to go through all that and determine what we really need. 'Cause there are a lot of duplicates in a way.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
And so I said we needed to consider because the collection had grown, but we would be happy to look over it, and he hasn't come back with the list yet,
Yeah.
the new list. So we'll call it Jim Vanette V4, right? I don't know. But that one went well. So the question is, what do we do with these items that are, we haven't found a historical home for? I mean, at what point do we do the
Yeah.
ARC? Do we go to like a Nextdoor or a Facebook? Like, I mean, I don't know if the town has any accesses it can do. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions on that.
I think some of that happened with Lafayette, and they ended up with a whole bunch of stuff stored in some outbuildings, and then those got full.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we don't want to do.
Exactly, I agree. But what do we do with it? I mean, at what point do we make a donation somewhere to ARC or Facebook to say, collectors, historic, so maybe then it gets a little more interest than the random sell for a buck at ARC.
We can even go to the town general, in the newsletter, because there's a lot of people who lost possessions, and that might
Looking for a
fulfill
home.
something.
Yeah. Because
kind of
the
first come,
people
first
who've
served.
donated it have said, deaccession it and please try and find someplace who would
They don't want it back.
appreciate it, yeah. And the key is appreciate it.
I really like that idea, and it could be within Commission Corner, or it could be something where maybe there's a small description of how the collection and accession and deaccession process works. Therefore, and, when we have, just so people understand that we don't normally just give away collection items.
We're doing a work session week after next again, a cataloging session. We should do some better pictures than what I took for,
We have one for the
The
a week
28
from today.
yeah, so next week.
Yeah.
So I think, from the collection standpoint, I think it would be good just for the group to come up with a solution, and then we can record that solution so that it becomes
Yeah.
process and a
I
protocol.
would just like to give a date to it, so if we put it in September's corner, we say, if there are no takers by, this will be open for use till November, whatever.
But maybe for next month's meeting, we could have a little written thing before we actually put it in the corner,
Exactly.
so that the group can approve a statement.
Yeah, and we'll be where we can get pictures and kind of put a draft together
Perfect.
on the 20, whatever it is.
But then that'll
end of
be the
month.
long-standing process.
Well, and it's something it's repeatable.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
When Larry and I picked up things from Boulder a couple years ago, they did, I said something about irons, because at that time we didn't have many irons, and she said, anyway, I got the feeling that they did not have very many irons, so if no one in the town wants that one,
They
you
didn't
might
answer mine
want
out about it.
Boulder, you got hold of Boulder?
I went to an Anfram thing, yeah.
But is Boulder there?
He's in the Boulder.
We can double check. If you've got a contact,
I doubt
you reach out to him, I'll reach out to him direct,
I
yeah.
don't think they're on the,
Okay,
Anfram.
I thought they were, so yeah. No, if you've got a contact there, or I can do a contact us, that's fine. Just let me know. It's a white gas iron. The iron collection looks really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
They're all lined up on the stove right now. The stove's getting full.
Do we have an ironing board?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
but it's
Grasso.
at Grasso,
Gotcha. Oh, that's right.
in the washing machine.
It doesn't have
In
the
the laundry.
cover.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a sleeve iron and a regular iron. So, ironing board, I'm sorry, sleeve board and a regular board over there. Okay.
All right. Good updates. I definitely love the idea of having this almost being a recurring piece for the commission corner when it comes to
When we
deaccessioning
get them,
items.
yeah. Yeah. Because we don't want to end up like Lafayette. That just that's a different kind of hard.
Mhm. Yeah.
So.
All right. And then History Colorado affiliates.
So this month's webinar wasn't applicable for us. It was things on fundraising and stuff, so I did not attend. But I did go to History Colorado just to go. And when I walked up, I said to the gal, she said, "Are you a member?" And I said, "I am a part of the History Colorado affiliates with the town of Superior. I'm a volunteer there." To which she hands me my entry sticker. And I said, what's the charge for my husband and my friend? And she hands me 2 more stickers. She's like, they're included with you.
Oh, wow.
That's
All for
the
that
best
$1.
That's the best dollar we spent.
That dollar just keeps
It
on
was-
giving.
They were, I don't know if that's the norm or what, but it was, and we went and spent 3 hours and bought lunch and had a wonderful time.
They didn't ask for any kind
No.
of identification?
No, I remembered my name tag
Your
and
badge,
a few other things, right? But no, she was just
Is there
absolutely.
America 250 exhibit still up?
So, yeah, we actually, it's a lot of reading. It's very, very good, but there's no audio to it, so it took about an hour and a half to
Yeah.
go through. But it was short enough that you could read each part and kind of get through. And it's almost, they have some jumps, but it's a lot of decade by decade.
Is that display downstairs? Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's real impressive. So,
I can't remember what the title now.
yeah, it was the
Moments
250.
that made us. or
Moments
something.
that made us, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But, so that's the affiliate, is the membership keeps giving.
It's incredible.
And I don't know why I thought to ask, but I did, and
No, I'm not, that's what I know.
yeah, so.
Let me
Love
know if
'em.
I'm
Yeah.
missing something.
They're fantastic.
But I need to respond.
Okay. I'll give you the cue.
These are turned up on.
All right. As far as digital screens, no major updates there. I've been playing around with it's basically a PowerPoint presentation that'll be able to be uploaded onto those. I do think timing-wise, like having these be able to be installed around like the 5th and being able to showcase that with the anniversary would just be good. So I think that's kind of like the goal there.
So, JG, when if they're gonna be installed then, we had some ideas on cases for fire memorabilia with the screens and being able to open up the other cases for some other things. Could we, and then my idea of wanting to build a shelf for rotating exhibits, shelving, could we go spend 20 minutes in the museum thinking about that? Thinking aloud about that? At a upcoming work session?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you at a work session. To get that ball rolling. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Because it ties into what we do with the screens and
Right.
because that's a standing exhibit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, with all that, so. And so it does all tie together.
Okay.
Okay.
So Dalton, is there a projected start construction beginning on the Remembrance Amphitheater?
No.
Not yet. They had originally, I think the original goal had been like maybe a groundbreaking ceremony around the 5th. I don't think that's going to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to do a groundbreaking next year.
We might open the museum, the Aston Museum, and whatever we have at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest question will be just once we get the fundraising apparatus, how quickly are we able to get funds? I feel relatively bullish. I think we can get the funds at least to begin construction relatively soon. We have had I know some members of the Marshall Fire Remembrance Commission have had some productive conversations for even like some pro bono construction work itself, which would be fantastic. So I think things are moving along in the right direction. It really is. I think right now, just with Colorado Gives, their attorneys are reviewing different forms on how they can feasibly accept donations for this, because it would be kind of a almost temporary fund and how they would administer it accordingly.
And the other thing, Larry, is that we just got the geotech back, and so it's going to take a while for both the designers and engineers to figure out everything and then get construction drawings done. Once that happens, then getting a construction firm on board, and there's just so many steps, but yeah, probably
For a
next
small
year.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Next we have scroll and stroll signage.
I want to do a stroll. Oh, yes. Well, I sent all of you a copy of what is the first final text, but we still need to work on the graphics. I have a list of potential maps there. and we need to look into it. Dalton and Karen and I had done some preliminary work on what was available online through Apple and Google, but that was last fall. JG also mentioned we might do a YouTube format. I am wondering that if we go with an audio-visual tour, whether we should have narrators, different narrators for different sites. For example, I'd have Jack Bowes narrate the section on the cemetery. He's the most knowledgeable, and perhaps Mark Asti do the one on Asti Park, since he's family. And the mayor could do the one about the various town halls and the fire department. So we need to decide on the format and how this all fits into the QR code project. My understanding was that only Asti Park has QR codes right now.
Yeah, so right now I can say what the Asti Park QR codes, though there's specifically the two related to the Lions Club donations. So those were installed. One is kind of detailing the trees that the Lions Club donated, and then the other one is detailing the Lions Club and their kind of donations within the museum itself. So they have like the Lions Club logo on the outside for it and just giving some explanations there.
I see. Then that's only about the Lions Club?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Will there be room for us later? Can we link to it?
I don't know if on that sign we would have room, but there are signs available that have the Town of Superior logo that we can put within Asti Park and obviously other parks throughout the town.
I did spend some time helping Maureen understand kind of the split between that we had.
We should get some very good graphics together. Dalton said he thought there was a good map on how to get to the cemetery. Do you actually have it, Dalton, or is that in the comms department?
I don't have the map. I have been working on it though, so I think at the next meeting we'll be able to do that because there was, I guess, some miscommunication. I thought a map had already existed, so I've been working on like identifying with this list. Now we can actually mark on it just a nice kind of graphical map, the Town of Superior, where all these potential spots would be, including the cemetery too, since the cemetery is also compared with a lot of the other spots.
Well, Dalton, I have the emails from you and Karen and the links. They're clear back last October. I'll pull them up in coming weeks and see if they're still relevant. But both of you said you found good before and after images on the Marshall Fire. Karen on her Apple iPhone, you on Google?
Yes, so Maureen's talking about, I was able to find on Google Maps, Google had not updated by the time I took all these screenshots what the area in original town looked like. So I was able to take all these screenshots, just kind of doing the street view, walking down the street of all these old homes that now are no longer there. So I thought a good feature that we could use online and potentially we can tie it in with the scroll and stroll with the stops there is just kind of a slider tool where you could show an image of what is there now, like a very recent photo, and then you slide it and you're able to see what that exact spot had looked like several years ago. So I thought that'd be great. I was glad to get all these photos, so it is just kind of one, identifying the individual spots. I think Maureen's list is going to be helpful there. Two, making a kind of physical map that we can have identifying where each of them are. And then three, having the online resources that the QR codes on those sites would direct people to.
I don't know if this is the time to mention it, but I noticed a couple of, one I'm not sure about, the other one I think she has an inaccurate date. And I just want to check, isn't the fire bell back at the firehouse, the old fire? Yeah, I think in hers on item 1.1, she said it's unknown where the bell is, but it's actually back and has been.
Oh,
the
there
years I've
was
been-
one item on the old town hall in original Superior. Gladys first, she did say all photos she had of it were destroyed in the fire when she lost her home. So I was wondering if Combs has an artist who could do an artist's concept. Gladys
We should
gave
have
us
other
a
photos
very
of that.
good verbal description of what it looked like. My brother read it and said, yes, he remembered the old town hall.
Paul,
In the
can you ask what item she's
1950s, it
talking
was
about?
used as a polling place.
We got a reply for that.
So he said it was accurate.
There are photos of the old town hall available through Carnegie and through, some of them are even in the Lost Superior book, one or two of them, so.
Oh, they do?
I
What do
lost
they
track
own?
of which location.
Old Town Hall,
Old Town Hall.
which is in the list. If you
Yeah, no, I got the town hall and then I got the bell and I got,
The brick building replaced
Yeah.
it, yeah. so
no, I was
that
here,
a
I
frame
heard the
building.
bell and then I heard town hall and I got confused,
And
so.
then there was
Oh,
a,
I'm glad something survived. Gladys was distraught that she lost everything. So I didn't know if you had others,
we have,
but it's
others.
accurate, yes, it was used.
Not much.
And
Didn't you show the
the other
photo
thing I
the other
had,
day of the old town hall?
Yeah, I had, well, was it in the bill? Was it in
I
the
think
first
it
slide?
was.
It might have
I
been the
think-
old town hall, yeah.
What was your question?
I did that 3 months ago, Paul.
No, in Jill's presentation, there was a picture.
Yeah, there
Old
was.
town hall, yeah. I'm like, I did that 3 months ago. I'm like, which one did I show?
Say yes, Jill.
The answer is yes, Paul, good memory.
the other thing was just a date on her item. I guess this would be more for Paul.
Which date is that, Mary?
She said in item 2.1, which I don't have a copy of it here. She said that.
2.1.
2.1, yes, thank you. She said that the museum at Asti opened on somewhere or other. But I was going through some things and found a copy of our invitation for that. And it was Saturday, February 6th, I can't read, February 6th, 2010. And she had said November 2008
November
or
2008.
something.
That's my date is 2008.
But look what I have.
But that's the grand opening, not the
Yeah,
official opening, maybe?
Yeah, I bet that's
Groundbreaking
probably,
versus-
It kind of depends what you're talking about, because I have about 3 different dates,
yeah.
and you have to specify exactly what kind of opening you were talking about. Grand opening, or just open for the first time, or?
Overall, I had similar questions to what Maureen had posed earlier. Is like, what's the next step? What's the vision for how to integrate this? But I like the list. I like the draft. I appreciate seeing it, and thank you very much for that. It's
a
good.
lot of work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's part of what I was
We'll
going to
work on
share.
data.
So Maureen was asking more about those metal signs that we had made and the QR code. So I kind of explained the Lions Club, how their QR goes to their website, and how CAPS will be using the signs for the public art collection, and that QR code will just simply go to the Arts and History webpage. And I think that's where I think Maureen, it was clear that Maureen was thinking very differently about this. And so that's when I said, well, there's other options. It doesn't have to go to the Arts and History website. It could go to Google Maps. It could go to a YouTube video. And I think that's how and why she's mentioning that. And I think, if videos get made, there's a handful of approaches to that. It could be something very high-end and professional, or it can just be something that we create with our phones or whatever, but I think that's a big next step because there's either a lot of expense or very little expense to it. I think kind of that end product is something that you all need to kind of figure
I
out.
think that's what we're discussing, and Maureen's suggestion of videos was good, and what it might look like. Dalton started to talk about other media. I like having more media, and I had the same questions about how this would integrate, because we've discussed how to use the QR codes with the signs and how to best maximize that
Yeah.
before. Had the same questions around that.
Yeah.
Like how that would work. But I like the directions it's going, and the fact that it started and is getting fleshed out is very
Yeah.
exciting.
You know, and I think arts and history can absolutely help support the endeavor, especially if there is a need for some video production. Our comms department, that's not really their forte. They do a little bit, but we'd probably have to hire somebody from the outside for that.
What happened with that lady who came and videoed Larry several months
I
ago?
think she's all right. I think she's doing okay.
I mean, is she a source to help with videoing?
Well, she was
As a
a
volunteer,
more like
or
a
was she?
volunteer
Inspired
project.
by seeing
Okay, so
It just sort of vanished.
yeah, okay. I just didn't know if she was a source that could help with something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a
As a
lot of different
community member,
options.
yeah.
That's why, you know,
Yeah.
there could be volunteer, could be some of us using our phones, it could be a professional that maybe puts it all together. I don't know.
We might do it stepwise and
Yeah.
improve it as we go.
Yeah, we can always build out from there
Yeah.
too.
It sounds like,
Well, and if we do one, and technology changes, or we find people's
Technology's
interest
gonna
changes,
change,
guess
yeah.
what? Technology's gonna change, Scott.
Well, and I like the idea of like the audio narration too, even if there isn't video, maybe it's just images and some audio that one of us records.
But the video, the slideshow of old Grasso Park, like the old time pictures of Grasso Park, and the write-up of it are done. I did that years ago, and we
So
just
that
never
could
got it
be-
narrated and done.
That
But
could-
it would be a test case as we work out the further, you know, it gets you, it gives you something to scroll when you stroll there.
Well, and since Maureen is kind of leading the project, it could be that she leads the writing,
Yeah.
and then somebody else does the voice recording.
This writing is probably 12 years old, if not. So I was going to say, I will try and remember this. I will send it, Paul, I'll put you on copy. And it, like I said, it's old and I haven't done an accuracy check in ages. But that way, I have problems with Maureen's email like I do yours and Larry's, so.
Larry's always been a reliable narrator. He's kind of like our
He
David
is.
Attenborough.
He is, we got stuck on getting it narrated and how we were going to put it up. QR codes were newer then.
Need to have higher standards, Scott.
David Attenborough?
But yeah, I mean, that could be a good place to start, just kind of get the scripts written, and then we could
Yeah.
figure out the reading voice part, and maybe just start out, like I said, with just photos that the QR code links to.
Yeah.
Because that could probably be on the arts and history page or YouTube or
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just make sure she knows this is old and drafted, it's not, so it may need
But
a
we
lot
could
of
do-
revision.
I told her.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, that's a starting point,
Yeah.
but we would probably want to renew it all.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Can I just ask, conceptually, we're still talking about, you start at a certain place and you come to a QR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what pops up when you get to that
Yeah,
place.
I've done a bunch of those
Yeah.
other places.
This is how you get sucked in, Paul. Good job.
Have a cookie.
The more
many
you
as
eat,
you'd
the
like,
fewer
there's
I'll
plenty.
eat.
My wife makes me bring several back. It's
Oh,
good.
good.
Is that who we
We
met
have
when you
several
came to
too
the
many.
museum? She's lovely, you can bring her lots
That's
of
the fringe
cookies.
benefit department, I guess.
Mhm.
All right.
So you've done some things like that, Paul?
Yeah,
Wow.
Got a resource?
So we can have an update on volunteers next month.
Yeah, there we go. All right, cool.
His name's in the volunteer.
We'll have Mary start pre-writing the thank you letter so you can't.
All right, so I mean, really good progress, I'd say, with the scroll and stroll. And again, please thank Maureen for all the work that she's been doing with this. Yeah, it's heading in the right direction.
Yes, indeed.
So I think now we can move on to debriefing. And the first item here is the August 1st Open Museum Day in Colorado 150 in the fire truck. And I'm so sorry I wasn't able to be there. From all the photos and videos, it looked like a fantastic day.
There was no fire truck.
That was the only guy.
Thanks, Gus, that hurt.
Yeah, well, I think the people at Asti in the morning had 18, and Wally and I had another 18 or 20 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And similar numbers at Grasso. And of course, the ukulele ensemble did a fine job of performing. And we about wiped out that cake, didn't
I would say
we?
there was barely enough for you to take any back to
Yeah.
Cheryl as she's in recovery.
When Catherine took the remains back, she's like, where did it all go? I mean, hungry people, what can I say?
That's right. Had a lot of.
Speaking of the fire truck, is something happening now to keep the battery charged?
Well, we'll see if JG's had any report back from Matt Rarick, but I suspect maybe the previous driver might not have gotten the ignition exactly right back to the stopping point, because we drove it on the 4th of July, and so it should have been up enough for that. So to answer your question, it's not possible. There's no electricity in the storage unit.
Oh, okay, so
No,
you
no.
can't leave it plugged in
So-
on my neighbor's truck to.
Yeah, so the parks crew, I had the parks crew, they took a small generator over, plugged it in, juiced it up just enough for about 30 minutes, and then took it over to the firehouse to do a longer battery
Oh,
charge.
they took it over there? Okay, good.
So I need to get an update from Matt Rarick on that, but, so just enough charge just to drive it from storage over to the firehouse, and then see if it'll take and hold a charge, and if not, we'll just replace the battery.
Yeah, it may be that the battery's age may have caught up with it there. It's
Yeah.
not that old, but those are 6-volt batteries, and they
It's been a while.
go fine.
It still has a 6-volt in it? I thought they converted it. Wow.
No, they considered it, but it was gonna be more complicated.
Yeah, fully rewiring everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the visitors were terrific, and just, they was just fun with the ukulele gang and everything. So that's it.
Excellent.
And I'll have a talk with that previous driver and make sure he does better next time.
Put 'em on PIP, John.
Yeah.
What's that?
PIP, Performance Improvement Plan.
Oh. I never had one of those,
You
obviously.
get to have a pit with that driver.
Yeah, I'll be talking to him. Yeah. We'll work
Start
on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cut their pit. 10% of none, still none.
All right. So next we had the August 9th Carrie visit to Asti, who are related to the Kerr family members. Carr, wow. Carrie Carr, yeah. And Larry and I were able to be there. We were there for about 45 minutes or so. Very good conversations, delighted to be here. The Carr family, they had lived in the location where the McCool house is currently located at. So talked about the family history there, some personal family stories, which was very nice. Reviewed some of the booklet material as well that some of the family members were mentioned in, including David, who they believed was like a great uncle was the connection, who had sadly passed away in one of the mining accidents and is dedicated on our minor memorial, so covered some history there. And at the end, they talked about some potential possible donations from Superior that they have. And they were going to be doing some traveling, and we're going to hopefully be reaching out, sending some photos our way of some different items to see if we'd be interested in them.
And they're from California, so it's gonna be a long distance thing.
Yeah.
But the daughter, her daughter, who's also there, is gonna be in a wedding later this
Yeah.
year.
What part of
at Castle
California
Rock
are
or
they in?
something. What?
What part of California?
East Bay, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's north.
Mhm. Yeah, San
I don't
Francisco
remember
area.
now.
It was like outside of San Francisco. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so very good. I was glad we were able to coordinate and meet them and go over some family history too.
Yeah.
And next, the August 14th work session.
We were busy.
Yes, it was.
Busy.
And it accomplished it. Yeah, I think Grasso
We
was.
rearranged Grasso. And so it's clock ready.
It's clocking probably today.
Yeah. And Liam did the hanging at Asti and
A lot of vacuuming.
like the vacuuming, some dusting.
Oh.
JJ did the vacuuming.
Well, a lot was done by the volunteers that were there that day. Then when most of us went home, and somebody stayed and did some more in the kitchen and so forth.
Liam did all the work. He just wanted me there to go put it here, put it there. He was very, if you need to move it, it's easy to fill the hole. So we hung it, right? It's like, let's put it up. And so I'm not tied to how we did it. So if you have better ideas, different ideas.
That's good.
He was really like, we can make this work. It's very, very, always so easy to work with. So yeah. But if you, like I said, different ideas, just don't feel wedded to what we did. So, but it's not in the basement anymore on the table. It's front and center. So we're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Those work sessions, they are so productive. It's incredible how much you're able to get done in that time.
We've got a box for September of Kuffner Bruno scrapbooks that we want to go and different things we want to go through what to do with them and what direction to take. There's some artifacts, there's, like I said, scrapbooks, there's 2 boxes of it. So that'll be a basement and Asti day.
Mary, you want to say something? I can tell.
Yes.
I was, but I just realized that what I was going to ask about burned in the fire. And that was the bigger glass top display case, which maybe could have had one of these scrapbooks opened up. But then I thought, oh no, that was before.
But, well, and these scrapbooks are not,
You don't want a lot of people flipping.
No.
That's why it would have been.
They're not all scrapbooks in what you might think of as like
yeah, like
information.
there's some
Okay.
photos that are so interesting and town relevant, and then there's a lot of what look like fraternity party pictures from 1950.
Well, that's, yeah.
Yeah,
One of
so,
them literally had no mention of any person's name in the entire book.
yeah, I mean, like
You'd
in
have
the
to
bunkhouse,
Photo, facial recognition
boozing it
to
up.
figure out.
So, and somebody had a really good time, and
Yeah, and they
but they're
took
not,
pictures.
Probably
they're not
written on the back
necessarily,
of
this
it.
is why we need to
Sounds
go
like
through them
those.
together and kind of go,
Yeah.
what direction, what do we do with these pictures
Yeah,
that
make
are left
decisions.
to us?
Yeah,
That
like there's
aren't-
some like football team pictures or something.
Yeah.
And there's nothing on the
Yeah,
back about
and
what's.
there was a couple in the Superior baseball uniforms that are really,
Yeah.
I mean, really
Oh, yeah.
appropriate, but then there's this other couple dozen that
Couple times.
aren't, right? We all have our party pics from our younger days, but they're not things you put out, so.
For historical posterity.
Exactly, exactly. But after we make a directional there, we may want to look at the photo scanner that we've talked about, JG.
You
So.
don't want to see that picture of Jill playing beer pong, huh?
Moon drivers was my downfall. Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's the next work session. So yeah.
Goody goody.
Yep. Yeah, finding a good way to display those and the most relevant information.
Yeah, or at least store them. Yes. So that we know what we've got.
Yeah.
And there's also that Bruno family donation big book that came in.
That's part of this. Yeah. That's
Okay.
all. Yeah. This is all.
So It's all one of the same.
Well, the two boxes have,
Stuff in
it's a bunch of Bruno and Kuffner, yeah.
Okay.
And they're kind of mixed. I don't know enough of Bruno's to know which came from where,
Yeah.
so. Mhm. Exactly, so you're talking about the same stuff.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We're just, we opened it up and we're like, I don't even know where to start, so let's do it when we've got a group of us together where we can
I
work
wonder
through it.
what, if we should get hold of like Louisville and Lafayette or something, or History Colorado, and say, what is the good thing to do with a scrapbook that's been?
Yeah.
What do museums usually do?
Yeah. I mean, the one that I found of all the Kuffner mayoral stuff, when they were working annexation and water, I'm gonna call it water rights, different things for the expansion of Superior.
Oh, that, yeah.
I mean, I've got
That's all
that.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's all scanned now. I actually came up, JG, for a way to, I think we want to index them of what the articles are, another GSA project. Catherine's doing the first one we talked about now, so. But I think that way we know what's there, but it's all intact as the scrapbook, and then the scrapbook is also scanned and is a PDF that's available, so.
Once we catch up, doing some of that more recent history that will
Yeah.
soon not be so
So
recent.
recent, yeah.
It'll be important.
And it's really relevant
It is.
to what we've been finding.
Well, the whole water thing is.
The whole water, yes.
Is important to
And-
Superior survival. so.
And the water thing, when I was going through what I saw the Kuffner, they're encapsulating his time as mayor. right?
Exactly.
But then I got to another box of papers that was below this that I've started scanning. And I found all these other articles and I'm like, we need to not do this as a Kuffner family thing, but we need to do it by the topics that are within it.
I skimmed a lot of that stuff when it came in.
Yeah, okay. And JG said, how do we use the GSAs to get this, get a handle on it? I'm like, I feel like I need to look at it, and a few of us have seen it before we have them doing stuff, so we know what we've got. Because you obviously made the connection that I just made. Like my dining room table right now is covered with newspaper articles. And I'm trying to go, okay, annexation, water, where they're at. And it's, next time we get a high school intern, getting them to read it and summarize what happened.
Well,
Like,
even the sewage project's pretty amazing in there. Yeah.
They're, I mean, and there's one on floods that I found
Yeah.
from the 70s.
Yeah.
A booklet on flood, plain and how they were managing flood here. It's like,
Yeah, but part of that whole story is the arguments for and against growing the town.
mhm,
And it's the pivotal moment of that is
Yeah.
documented amongst all that. It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
yeah, and it's how do we bring all that and kind of index or cross-reference it? And again, if we had some kind of intern like we had with Jade, it would be a great project on that. Or like what Lydia did on the Grasso stuff, to where it was very concise and you could go, okay, I know what to look for. Because it's a research project. There's so much
Yeah, it is.
that's there. Yeah, it's very cool. Like I said, my dining room table is covered in the best sort of way. So that just went blank, right? Okay, I'm like, what the heck? I don't know.
Civil engineering, more interesting than you think.
It really is. That's what people need to be aware of. That's where we come in. All right. So I think now we can probably move on to August 17th, the Superior Historical Commission hosting Anne Fram.
Well, aside from Anne Fram's poor turnout, y'all were superstars. Or despite of it.
I thought your presentation was a superstar.
It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did a great
fantastic
job on that,
Thank you.
Jill.
Thank you. And but the feedback from the 4 people we had, I've gotten texts since when we were walking through the museums. I mean, everything from, they thought the one gal, I wish I could get the exact words, but her comment was basically, you said that you have this great rapport with the town, and after watching you all talk while you were doing this, she's like, you really do. And she's like, and everyone knows so much, and everyone does this, and everyone's so willing, and y'all like each other. So it was really, the feedback was really good. And, I would not be surprised if one of them comes back and asks us to repeat.
Wow.
We think,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, come to our board or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was great to have Clint here too.
Yeah.
It's nice that he's
That was
able to
good
show
thinking.
up and
Yeah.
and Lydia.
Yeah, and you know, I think the fact that we're all still. a
We just
little
take JG
vulnerable
for
with it,
granted.
yeah.
JG, thank you for your work.
Yes.
Thank you for being there.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Because
Special
But I'm
thanks.
wondering if there'll be an ANFRAM after this.
I'm
'cause,
wondering.
Yeah, I was wondering the same
That's,
thing.
yeah,
Good
I
for
think that
people.
might have been,
Yeah.
but Susan had a great suggestion. Do you want to?
We have a topic coming up to talk
Okay.
about it from, so maybe let's hold it.
Okay, got it. Because it,
Yeah, after the art source framing status.
Yeah,
Okay.
Heritage Roundtable.
I just want to say regarding Monday's meeting, that as the four visitors went through our museums, they were so impressed and so enthusiastic. They just really were astounded at everything, yeah. So,
Yeah, they really were.
yeah, I mean, they just kept going on and on about everything. So, y'all were at your best, so. Kudos.
On our best behavior.
For once, right?
You were showing everything you know and do, really. I mean, and I put everybody on the spot at some point, so.
you tried.
All about inclusion.
Yeah.
Well, I think these number 1 through 5 small Roman numerals are a good illustration of how effective this commission is right now. It is really doing a great job overall and in specific areas that you each adopted and so forth. So this commission's very strong right now.
And just to add, you sharing at the last meeting about the connectivity of this commission with the council and obviously town staff, and that you're appreciating it more because you are hearing from other communities that do not have that relationship. I shared that during my council report with the rest of council at our last meeting, just to let them know how much you appreciate the partnership because you're realizing more and more how it's not the uniform situation in all municipalities. So thank you for sharing that. So I get to pass it on.
It was a
Thanks for
good,
doing that.
it was a good day when Wally came down to the town hall and talked to Bruce Williams about starting up a historical commission.
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah,
is
he said, do you
history.
have a historical commission? And they said, or any kind of history group? No, do you want to start one?
Come on
That's when you're
down.
not sure you should have asked.
Exactly. But I told one of the people while we were walking, it's like, we have people who founded the commission, who are still on the commission. We're like,
What was that?
people stay
What
that
year?
long?
1996.
Okay.
Now, he didn't start it then, but that, when they were celebrating the town birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That
he
was one of
started
the-
it in 98.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But they were, the fact that we all stick around and we're not term limited.
No.
I said, well, other commissions,
Boards, yeah.
boards are, we are not.
Well, we just got that lifted though.
Yeah.
Across
Yeah,
the
it was like
board?
that was
Okay.
just updated.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we started out as a historical society, and then, of course, we weren't funded by the town. So we're constantly trying to make money. And I remember all of us making Christmas wreaths in Gladys Forshey's barn down there.
If you have pictures of that, when we do the
Yeah,
picture
please.
party, bring that. That would be,
Send
that would be great to have in
Yeah, it would be.
the photo library.
And the narrative is valuable too.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do have the oral history of the founding still on record. so-
You and Wally got interviewed for oral history, didn't you?
Yep.
Carnegie.
Yes, in fact, I found the letter I got from Carnegie.
Oh,
Just the other day, I found it somewhere it shouldn't have been. And I thought, I said, hey, here's the letter talking about our interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an oral history thing about the start of the historical group here.
Which also includes the interesting tidbit on the difference between a society and a commission.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned what it was.
Yeah, truly just want to thank everyone for being so involved with this. Thank you, Jill, for spearheading this and running an amazing job with this. Thank you to Larry, Mary, Clint, JG, and Lydia for all their involvement being on this and fielding so many terrific questions and navigating through this
Imagine
too.
if we had 10 or 12 people, the questions we would
Yeah.
have gotten, right?
You know, and the people that gave us all the history, of course, are no longer with us, but, you know, Bob Morgan and Denzel contributed so much to our knowledge and sense of humor.
All right. I think then, I mean, we'll be touching on ANFRAM a bit shortly, but now we have art source framing status.
It's done.
Take it, Gigi.
It's done, and I'm working with Katie to arrange for delivery and installation.
Right.
We had a party that day.
And we also have the
Chef, right?
the copy of the original is
Yep.
rolled up and in the basement at the Vashti Park too.
And
so.
Katie still has the tube, and she will throw that in when it gets delivered.
Oh, okay. So we will be able to use that old
Yep.
tube. Okay, good.
I definitely think when it comes to the actual framing and the installation, we should videotape that and record it, because that's going to be a pretty significant
Yeah.
addition.
So why don't I'll just get some, because I don't know if delivery and installation will happen all at once, like if it's going to be the same people or not. But either way, I'll relay it back to you to make sure it's a date that works for everyone or most everyone. And then we'll just post a work session. How about that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we'll need to move the table, obviously, with the typewriters and all, and
Yeah.
clear the way for them to have,
Yeah.
which means we'll need to
Yeah,
make
it's
it where
going to
to
be a
put the
big
typewriter.
install. It's real heavy.
But at least those can just be moved kind of temporarily, out of the way.
So History Colorado, one of their things on storage, we don't want the tube, like we don't want to stand up the tube in a corner. We don't want to lay it on a shelf. They either usually hang them, like they have, like let's use webbing and hang it from something, or have brackets where they'd have like 3 brackets and it would just slide and sit on those. So it's something to do with how it is in the weight of the tube. And apparently, they're like, people put them on shelves and they roll off, and the next thing you know, you're have a problem.
Yeah.
So we may want to look at some type of, how do we keep the tube tip?
Yeah.
So just tuck that as delivery and installation is primary, but
Well,
in
I
our,
think, the other thing to think about too
planning.
is where are we on it, on the wall,
Wall.
in terms of looking at it, because we were looking at, here's Superior's way down in the lower right-hand corner because it's Boulder County. And so we want to have it high enough so you can look right at it and see Superior, or what? So that'll be,
Yeah.
installation day will be wrestling
Yeah.
with that.
Or,
Interesting.
and/or could we, wherever it's hung, we're mentally hanging it on the wall there, photograph and enlarge the, like, Superior Louisville area and have that next to it for people to see. You know, like you see maps with insets.
Could probably photograph that
I was going to
part
say
of
with
the
the
copy,
scan,
maybe.
yeah, we
That's a
probably,
good idea.
yeah,
That's a great idea.
just blow up a section from the
Right.
scan.
Inset to make it.
the other
color.
thing we
Yeah.
could do, if we're comfortable with guests, is we've got that step stool. We just store the step stool upstairs, and if people want to get up higher and see it, if we're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be seen. We're
It's
paying a lot of
safe.
money.
Yeah,
to
no,
see
but
it,
that's,
so, yeah.
but being able
Yeah.
to offer, if someone says, oh, I'd like to see that, it's like, let me go grab the step stool, not that it's there on the screen.
You may need a
Or-
better one with the
Yeah,
rail.
yeah,
on it,
yeah,
if you're
like just
thinking
2
like that,
steps, yeah.
And a waiver.
Yeah. Well, or 2
Yeah,
steps
I
up
like
with
the
a.
inset idea better.
Yeah.
But we might want to think about something like that they could
Call
see
legal,
higher up
call
on the
legal.
map. We've invested this much, right?
Yeah, we don't have an attorney on standby at the museum.
Yeah,
Speed
no,
dial.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Just want to mention it's almost 11:10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next then is the Heritage Roundtable and the next ANFRAM. I would say kind of a question mark with the next ANFRAM, potentially.
The roundtable met yesterday, and I think the main piece of information that came out were that the Historic Boulder is going through a really busy time right now. They're going to have the Meet the Spirits I think it's the first weekend in October. I forgot my notes. And they're also going to have the, excuse me, the holiday tour of the houses, and I can't remember what neighborhood they're going to do this year, but that's, I think of all the things that were going on yesterday, those are probably the most relevant to us, I think. So, that's about it.
Then any kind of further discussions with ANFRAM?
Right now, they've got, September's an off month, they've got a meeting on in October, and I think the board term ends in December. They said if they don't have a new board, they're going to
Disband.
do whatever, yeah. And like I said, Susan had a great suggestion that we could email to them.
Just maybe having a couple of annual Zoom meetings, keep the collaboration going so that people are communicating and talking about donations and different things going on, but not necessarily require the museum visits. I mean, as interesting as I'm sure they've been in a lot of cases, it just seems like anymore, it's just a lot for people to have
Get
on their
away.
plates for driving all over the Front Range. But that's just an idea.
It's a great idea.
I would suggest that to the existing board as they're thinking the future.
Okay. Well, they'll want me to coordinate the whole thing, and I can't do that.
No, I'm kidding.
It would certainly be a lot less effort, I would think. I mean, somebody would still have to be responsible for.
But they don't seem to have a problem getting speakers. They
Oh,
have a problem getting attendance.
Right.
so, yeah, so
Yeah.
then people would be more likely to be able to carve out an hour for a Zoom meeting than have to take an afternoon off. to go.
Especially the people who this is their job and they're trying to go, well, I need to drive 2 hours round trip and I
Right.
need to spend 2 hours there and I've just lost a day at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's also easy to get Zoom speakers too.
Yeah,
So,
I can make that suggestion, or you have.
On
the
behalf of the whole
meeting.
commission, it's not just
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. On behalf of them, yeah.
you know,
But maybe I'll
after, yeah.
come up with an idea and run it by you too.
Yeah, but Mary seems to have the longest relationship with Jennifer or Larry, yeah.
Jennifer.
Jennifer was who was, and had,
Oh,
not
from Forney.
Heather. Jennifer from Forney and the other gal who's usually, not Katie, from firefighters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Katie.
Katie, yeah.
The two firefighter people are in leadership positions.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then okay.
Yeah, so send it to any of the three of us and we can send it.
Excuse me.
All right. I think now we can move on to the work plan check-in and the discussion items. The very first item is the next cemetery open day, which I think we have scheduled for September 5th, the same day as the museum day. Just confirming the time frame for that because we're going to be adjusting it 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for the cemetery.
My calendar.
That was my question, just because the comms department just wanted to make sure that's what you want to do, and is that the new time going forward?
No.
Their only concern is that if it changes every single time, it gets confusing for residents. So I understand why you want to change it, but if it's one time, you know what I mean? If it's different every opening time.
What we're going to consider going forward is having different summer hours from fall and spring hours. So the summer season would be the only thing, and this would be the last summer meeting due to heat, or summer cemetery opening.
Yeah, just because there's no shade up there.
Yeah.
It can get pretty brutal when you're there at noon or even 11. So having this a little bit earlier in the day
Okay.
is nice.
Just wanted to make sure before I.
Dalton, if you want my.
It is
umbrella.
Labor Day week.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be like bringing an umbrella, yeah.
No, I've got one.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is.
It is Labor Day.
weekend.
Yeah.
But we've had the best attendance on holiday
Holidays.
weekends.
Perfect,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a great attendance at
I
9.
think so too, yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel Coloradans especially, there's all these biking and walking trails right along there.
Yeah,
People go out
sure.
early in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Great. Yep, so next we have the preservation plan. This is something that Scott and I have been working on as part of the subcommittee. We have a couple of copies here.
Yep, if
just
anybody
for-
needs more, it was emailed out, but I only made 4 copies.
Again, this is not the plan itself, this is a conceptualization of the plan,
This is just a proposal, right?
Yeah.
outline of what a plan may encompass.
Yeah, don't worry, the actual one would be much longer than this.
To be contracted, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, with pictures, yeah, it'd look a lot prettier. But yeah, this is definitely just kind of the high level, what we would include within this, and really how we relay this to the town council members, because we met with them, it's been several months now, so we want to send this over to them, hopefully get the additional funding for next year as a budget request for this. And then if approved, then we'd actually be able to hire like a writer to actually organize and create this.
For the minor.
So I do believe
Nice work,
that
you guys.
Yeah.
the budget request is in,
Oh, are you ready?
and
Yes.
it's just a matter of it stays in
I had it.
during the
noted on
budget
that.
process, but it is in there for the consultant.
Yeah, and we would consider, does this need to be done in phases based on how much we're biting off or what the need is?
But
Well, I would like to point out that in the preservation plan on tier 2, where it lists an inventory of historical sites, we already have that with Scroll and Stroll. Now the Archery Park is technically not a historic site. We think it was the site of the ranch, and the dedication spot is where we think the house used to stand, but we aren't sure because they tore it down to make room for the development. But the commission did a very good job of a historic trail telling the story of Superior's early history from 1860 to the 1930s. So that's what we need to look at. I think we should all go out there for a work session and do some review. It's 15 years come April that it was dedicated. They said all the signage out there survived the fire.
It did.
yeah, I like that idea, and there definitely will be overlap in terms of
Yes.
kind of content and verbiage with everything in this stroll and scroll and with this on all the different sites that are going to be highlighted. And then the preservation plan will detail, obviously, each of these different sites, those that
Well,
might
I
not be
know
included.
that the Waligorskis, they, Mary and I were there at the dedication, but have our newer members been at it?
And all the other different sites that aren't included in the stroll and scroll as well, and kind of some forward thinking as well on how we're going to actually work on preserving these moving forward and communicating that with not only subsequent commission members, but also subsequent town staffers too.
And this includes a public input portion of it, or would, for any kind of planning effort like this.
Yeah.
Um,
So what happens next with this?
Next, I'd say it's really just kind of in town council's hands, so hopefully it gets approved in the budget.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah, once that's done, RFP would need to be put together for getting bids for consultants to actually put together a plan.
And luckily, we do know in looking at some other municipalities, they've detailed some of the consultants that they've worked on and writing their own plan. So I do think we already kind of have a bit of a list going of some ideas.
And it could be that if you feel that the other municipalities, if they come highly recommended, we can directly contact, 3 to get just direct bids instead of an RFP.
I have some familiarity with some as well.
Okay.
We need to flesh
Yeah.
out that list further.
We can kind of just do a different type of bidding instead of a call out. We can contact directly.
And depending on timing, if there's, this is the kind of thing, State Historic Fund would support as well if we get in the cycle of 4 state historic fund grant rounds, spring or fall. This would be something to consider as well, which they require matching funds, so whatever budget we approve, we can potentially add to it or build on it with the state
Yeah.
historic fund grant.
That'd be excellent.
I did have something to add to this and related to this, since we didn't quite get it into the agenda, but related to the importance of historic preservation planning at the local level. At the federal level right now, the Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act, the regulations that drive it and drive the federal review of historic preservation are proposed to be condensed quite a bit, minimized quite a bit, and that's expected to appear for public comment in the Federal Register, if not towards the end of September, in October this year. The indication is that the administration wants to get it out there before the midterms. And so that regulatory change could affect federal permitting, federal funding review for Section 106. So like if we have a flood going through and FEMA is involved, the 2013 flood had historic preservation reviewed and a programmatic agreement set up with the State Historic Preservation Officer here to how they'll treat historic properties within the flood zone, all up and down the Front Range, which was addressed over like more than 5 years of flood improvements after that flood. If the Section 106 is minimized enough, that review in those emergency situations wouldn't be required. So if we had like something come through Grass Oak Park, they wouldn't necessarily have to consider, depending on what the ultimate proposal is once it hits the Federal Register, they wouldn't necessarily have to consider in that federal action our historic properties unless we really push through other avenues to get them to pay attention. And so that's really why that law was put in place in 1966 to begin with. This is the 60th year of having a National Historic Preservation Act, and it does not prohibit use or modification of historic properties. Its only requirement is that the federal government in its undertaking takes into account its effects. So basically it's like, so there's not unintended consequences around historic properties. They think about what their actions and will weigh those actions against proceeding in relation to historic properties. And that 60 years of that law being in place, that has trickled down to the states. That law is why state historic preservation offices exist in the first place. It established them, established state coordination, and it applies to local coordination that tiers down. So our state antiquities law reflects the national law, and that stuff trickles down to certified local governments, and local laws tend to tier under that in the Park Service advisement. And so it does affect us, and it affects our consideration on the local level. And so the question really comes down to, as a commission or a town, is that something that we would like to actually comment when it hits the Federal Register from a town perspective, put a formal town letter in saying, expressing the importance of what matters in relation to those regulations when they are put in the Federal Register, to make sure that at least some semblance of review as it relates to the importance to our community might be considered. And then a counterpart to that is Congress is also considering permit reforms and streamlining across the board as well, where they might also even further reduce the requirements of Section 106. And we may, if they actually propose a bill with that, want to consider whether we want to talk to our local congressional representatives and convey what's important to this community for historic preservation, maintaining those federal standards all the way down. So that's what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. It's highly pertinent to historic preservation in the nation, all the way down to the local level. And grassroots movements are really the only thing that's going to
When
get
would we need
moved.
to put that input?
We'll have a 30 days once for the regulatory change on Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act. We'll have 30 days to provide that input once it's published in the Federal Register.
So when's it expected to be published? I mean, is this
It's
next week or next year? Or do we have any idea?
It's unknown, but right now it's anticipated it'll be before the midterm elections, probably at earliest late September, maybe early October.
So this is something we need to do in the next 45 days, not something we need to do as a town in the next 4 months.
Correct, and it's also unknown when the congressional action is anticipated more to be inserted into like an appropriations bill or some other similar bill, and that it's still unknown if they'll manage to do that before the midterms as well. But there are some congressional committees working on those issues as well. So we might have both coming up addressing different things. And in both cases, it's not just a matter of saying, hey, we're interested in this or that. It has to be thoughtful and compelling to things that actually affect those laws, instead of just saying we're for or against it, which doesn't really matter. It has to be substantive. It doesn't have to be long, it just has to be compelling. So something to think about, and whether the town actually wants to be involved in that. All of us as private individuals can be involved in that to our heart's desire. So.
I think that'd be good, and I'd like to see the commission kind of involved with that. I've worked on and submitted comments for my work on different levels, on different changes when it came to the cannabis space. There's all these DEA rescheduling hearings happening right now, so familiar kind of with the commenting process. So I definitely think if we can't get the town on board just because of timing constraints with this, I think we as a commission can still convene a work session and iron out details there if necessary. And just try and be mindful of time now because it's 11:25. Thank you again, Scott, with all this. I definitely think we can stay involved here too. The walking tour, stroll and scroll, I think we kind of covered everything there. And next is the spring program concept planning. And I know we'd had a couple of different ideas in the past on some different program ideas. Anyone want to kind of return to some of these? I know we had talked at one point about the 10th Mountain Division, but I don't think we made too much headway with a potential speaker. Is that right, Larry?
That's right.
Yeah.
But this makes me think I should check in with, make sure our fall program is presenter is still focused on this. But at this point, I haven't thought about the spring program. Sure, I have, but I hope someone else has.
Maureen would like to comment.
I have 3 possibilities for a topic. First would be the Marshall Fire, since maybe the memorial would be finished by then. The second would be the 15th anniversary of the dedication of the Archery Park. That would be on Earth Day in April 2012. And the third is a discussion of the history of the Rocky Flats weapons plant. I believe the town manager, Matt Bagley, mentioned that this past spring, more post-mining history, but it was a big employer and had a big impact around here.
I'll say, I mean, just for the record, Marshall Fire Remembrance is definitely not going to be finished by the time the spring program comes along. Maybe construction will have started by then, but definitely not finished. So I am wondering, maybe we could do that as like a fall program idea, potentially, if we wanted to. But I am intrigued with like the 15th anniversary of the Autry Park as a potential. I think that's something we could easily kind of do within our organization, within our body, and gather research and get some speakers or a panel addressed with that. Rocket Flats could be interesting as well, I think, too, if we're able to identify there's obviously some individuals in Superior and the surrounding area who'd be more than willing, I feel, to contribute or talk about that and the history there. But anyone else have additional thoughts?
Wonder if anyone does present on Rocky Flats, so that'd have to be done very carefully
Yes,
because
very
it
carefully.
brings up a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
That'd be a moderate.
An outdoor event at Autry Park on Earth Day sounds kind of nice. Anything outdoors sounds kind of nice.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a spring program or just like what we did for the
Wow, we
150,
have a long
right?
time,
We went to-
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
talking
spring program,
Autry
that's what
or
I'm talking
Aspen?
about,
Yeah.
Autry.
Autry Park?
Autry Park, yeah, for Earth Day.
There's a lot of activity down there. We have a pickleball tournament or something.
Yeah, we can listen to kids wreck their bikes on the little trail.
Can bring our dogs to the dog park.
Yeah.
Dog park. The
Bring your
new,
dog to the museum day.
the new town maintenance facility and other things are almost done over there. The rest of them.
That's quite a project down there.
Yeah, they've been working away.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess it's for the disposal plant they're working on.
It's actually more for staff and storage.
Yeah.
The plant's in good shape. It's
Okay.
maximizing the space we have to take care of our staff that have been pretty much working out of closets.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And all the rigs that are used on town property, those will all be properly serviced, bays and all of that. It's gonna be fantastic.
Great.
It's overdue.
All right. Well, I also think we can probably think about maybe everyone's homework assignment, think about some additional spring program concept ideas, or if you're leaning one way or the other with Autry Park or treading carefully with Rocky Flats or other options too.
Well, the other one I had of last year, Scott, you triggered this when you were telling me all the stories. We were at lunch.
I'm pretty triggering, yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty triggering on the, what did I call it? The seedy side
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah.
Superior.
Oh, that's still
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That's still
And
good.
yeah, of just telling these stories and going, some may be lore, some may be true.
We have, the shooting's well known.
We've got the
But then there's
shooting,
the moonshining.
the moonshine,
The philandering.
the philandering, the gal who tried to set fire to her husband.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 5 or 6
Some
pretty
fun.
fun stories.
The underside,
You know, and
huh?
I am more than willing, if people can help me put it together, to get up and ramble in
That'd
front
be
of the
fun.
town for an hour, right?
Could be
Yeah.
fun.
I've demonstrated my ability to ramble in public, so. But yeah, that was one of the other ones we came up with that.
Yeah. I don't know how many people are aware there was Gatling guns at one
Yeah.
point in town.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that.
Well, and what the
Well,
jail
that was
is.
with the union.
Jail
Yeah,
for
with the
the
union.
labor strike and
Strike,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we've got 5 or 6
Yeah.
good stories
Yeah, just
that
like
we
a
can.
couple.
And again, we present it as legend and lore. We don't know, some of this is based in stories that have been passed down, and some may be based in fact.
Yeah.
You know?
We could maybe have slideshows of the pictures.
Of pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That'd be interesting, yeah. All right. I think we have a couple of really outstanding ideas there. And we can
And
probably
then we
start.
do our homework and
Yeah.
make a plan next month.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, and then checking in with the fall program and making sure everything's chugging along there. Next is second grade field trips.
Yeah, so I took that over from Larry.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, coloring books on my way home will all be delivered, so
What's our supply? Do we
we're
need?
good. We have,
Okay.
we used 110 this year, and I have a brand new unopened box in my car, and I think there's another unopened box in the basement, which gets us about 250.
Okay, so that's good. So
So that would get us.
it's
at
kind of
least- that would
fallen
get us
by
about
the
250.
wayside, but there was a plan. I had a plan
Yeah,
to revamp it. It just hasn't happened,
Yeah.
but maybe that can be a next year
yeah,
thing.
we're, next year we will be starting to be on the low side.
But I think if it can mimic the other coloring books, yeah, just
Yeah.
put that,
So
yeah,
we're
we don't
good
have
for
to,
this year and probably next.
okay, great.
2 years from now, we may be on the short side. El Dorado sounded very enthusiastic in their note. They're supposed to be getting me dates. I asked for it by this meeting. I don't have them yet. I just checked my email. So they're coming forward. Superior's like, well, we don't know if we can do it, but if we do, we need it to be shorter. 30 minutes at each place is too long. And I haven't answered that note yet because I wanted to get, is it something, I mean, like, if we go to Grasso, do you take out the bungalow and just do the park? Do we, at ASDI, take out the the mine car and some of that. I mean, is it doable in 15 to 20 minutes per location?
Well, when we have to subdivide that group into smaller groups,
Yes.
no, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to
Yeah, that
say we
takes
could.
twice as long.
Yeah, yeah. So I would like to answer that says, we could try, but a lot of it depends on the questions and sidebar behavior of the kids. You get kids who you're always having to navigate and pull in, that adds to your time. And I
Did you
don't.
say Superior only has one round?
No, they have one teacher listed, but they asked for 62 coloring books. So I think it's just how they're doing their website right now. But they did ask, both groups asked for like 50 to 60 on the coloring books. So they're pretty equal sizes, but it would be three groups of 20 at each, rotating through. And I'd like to say we could try, but it's going to be tight. And again,
We've
you've
done
got a
that
couple.
before, back in the days we had 4 rounds. We had to, we did have to have luck. It
Yeah,
wasn't as
and I
effective.
don't know what's behind the wanting to shorten it, but I'll pull up the thread and see what I can learn. I did ask her, she's like, she was really waffling. I said, if you've got some tentative dates, if you could let us know, because I would need to get volunteers scheduled as well as, mayor and town staff. So we'll see what I get on that.
Jill, I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe you answered this already and I didn't hear you, but where are the Sagamore kids going now? Are they
SES.
still at?
Oh,
are they-
no, wait.
No,
They're at Monarch. They're at
Because they
Monarch.
were going to Monarch.
They
They're at
still are.
Monarch, yeah.
They're still going there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were trying to get more attendance at El Dorado.
BBSD, I think, publishes that,
This week.
next
Coming up.
Tuesday.
Oh,
So,
Coming up.
so we
Cross your
don't, yes, they're
fingers,
trying,
say
we don't
prayers,
know.
Do everything you can to,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that might change then?
It would change,
there will be changes.
there will be changes, it's what they are, and it would start with the 27-28 school year.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a year from now.
Okay.
Mhm.
okay.
So I have no definitive news yet, but when I do, y'all hear it from me.
All right.
Okay.
Good
So,
going.
thank
Thank
no
you.
news is no news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm next up on the clock repair.
Yep.
So the cool, good news on the clock repair is our clock is very rare.
Shall we clarify that it's not the grandfather?
Not the grandfather
Yeah,
clock,
it's a
correct, the
small
wall mount, not the small one that's on top of the frit, it's the wall mount clock.
Yeah.
So we've got the 3 different, true, good point. So the good news is, or the cool news, is that we have what's called a wood clock, which means from about 1830 to about 1880, US-made clocks started using wood components instead of metal. Because they stopped making them in the 1880s, there are very few people who work on them.
Yeah.
So when I did find a clock repair person who did antique clocks and took the clock down, he's like, this is really cool. Like you've got a gem here, but I don't know anyone. I've never come across anyone who works with these wood components.
I might be able to get you a name.
Good.
Because we had ours worked on,
Okay.
but this was about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know if the man is even around anymore.
Yeah. Is
I'm
he
gonna
the
have to
guy
look
up on
through my
Iris?
papers to find out
Yeah,
his name.
okay.
He was out of Boulder.
Yeah, up on Iris.
Was it John on Iris Street? Up there by the Sports
Oh.
Authority, which has been
Yeah.
gone for a long time.
I can't remember.
Okay,
By the
well, if it
driver's
is,
license,
we've
by the
already gone
driver's
down that path, yeah. Anyway,
No,
Get me the name.
no, he
Look it
came
up.
out to our house.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I
Okay,
remember.
look it up and I'll find out if
Let
it's
me
the one
look,
I already
let me
went
see
down
if
the
I can
path.
find his name.
Yeah, but his suggestion was, there are people who think these are, because they're so cool, they tinker. He said, display it, talk to, and every time someone sees it and is interested, talk to them and go, do you know anyone who does this? And just keep asking around because you will find it eventually.
Because we can
But
still
they-
display it.
Yeah,
regardless.
oh, it's displayed. It's up, it's on the wall.
They have to know someone who knows how to work with wood
Wood
clocks.
clocks, yes, being
Not-
key.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause
And he
that's gonna be
said,
very
and check them out, because you don't want the guy doing it loosely in his basement.
Right.
But if you've got the guy who's doing it loosely in his basement and knows where to get parts, they may know the guy. So he's like, you're gonna be turning over rocks for a while. So he was super helpful, even though we didn't get a good answer. So thus nothing to vote on, but we thought we'd be doing a budget vote, so.
But, honestly, it looks great display, whether it tells the right time, we all
Yeah.
can see the right time,
As
so.
the saying goes,
And
right
the
2
parts-
times a day, twice a
Exactly.
day.
Liam and I left the parts in that little cabinet that's on it, so if someone is curious and wants to see them, they're there. They're wrapped up because it just seemed like the right way to do it. But they're in there if someone wants to see them, so. Yeah, that's what we know on the clock.
Wonderful.
And if Karen can get me that name, I'll start at that thread because it's going to be a friend of a friend. A clock-loving friend.
All right. I think with that, good progress and updates there. We just have the upcoming events. September 5th, Museum Open Day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the cemetery, 9 to 11 a.m. So I think Scott and I will be up at the cemetery. Who's available at Asti and Grasso for morning, afternoon shifts?
I can open up Grasso again.
And we can be at Asti, Wally and I,
Okay.
At what time?
noon to 2,
Noon.
unless there's a better time for us.
No,
So that
I'll do
works,
the
yeah.
10 to 12 again.
Okay.
Should we bring out, shall the driver bring out the fire truck again?
There's a PIP in place for that right now. I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that.
And anyone available? Oh,
I was just gonna say, ask if Mary, are you available at Grasso like 12 to 2? I could join you there,
Yeah.
because you're so good at
Okay.
giving the grounds tours there. It's good to have another person.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, and presumably the weather will still be good, so we
Yeah.
can have things
Yeah.
open.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we have,
I'll fly solo at Asti for
Yeah,
the first couple
okay.
hours.
perfect.
Or Catherine might be able to
Yeah,
help. if
Catherine
you
might
felt
be able
like
to
you
come.
didn't.
Okay.
What's her last name?
Jinx.
Jane, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Covered all the bases there. And then at the work session on September 11th from 10 a.m. to noon.
Asti basement.
Has to
Yeah.
be.
We got 2 boxes so far.
Plenty of work to be done there.
Jill, Nancy just sent me a message saying Emily Griffith Tech has a clock repair program.
Ooh.
Not sure if it's wood, but
You know,
it's a call.
again.
It's a rock.
call. And that's, again, we're going to turn over rocks until
Yeah.
we
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you,
Thank
Nancy.
you.
I'll send Emily Griffith down, like the old school, and
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a different name, but still, Emily Griffith is still in the name somewhere.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of them in years.
They kept going.
Still going, I guess.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Well, I think now we can turn it over to JG for staff updates.
Not on my list, but Brandy Cummings, the Cultural Services Director over in Louisville, she is going to visit us at the October meeting to talk about cultural services and library services and how Superior and Louisville might potentially partner on things. I don't have a lot of information,
Oh, you
but I
said-
just want you to know she'll be a guest at the October meeting.
You said Brandy. I thought I heard
Brandy, yeah.
Brandy with a B,
Brandi Cummings,
coming.
Cultural Services Director, City of Louisville. Grasso grant status, just wanted to let you know that our grant writer and myself met with History Colorado a few weeks back. They just, I think their level of support throughout their grant writing process is really just phenomenal. We submitted a letter of intent so that they were aware that we will be applying for a grant. And that letter of intent had, basic info, and that's what sort of piqued their interest in doing a site visit. They know we're getting site assessments, which will basically give us kind of a ballpark figure of what we're looking at for cost, plus some kind of high-level lists of what needs to be done per structure, that kind of thing. So it was a really great site visit. They really gave us kudos on who we selected to do our assessments. They just kept saying, you're on the right track, you're on the right track, you're doing a great job, you're very well prepared, like all the good stuff. So feel really good. So next step is we're going to start writing content. We will be looking for letters of recommendation. We're probably looking to council and mayor for one letter, probably historic commission for another. Was thinking that one of the two schools might be good with relation to second grade field trips. I know we just had a teacher that retired. That would have been really great. Even if we could get a letter or two from a student or two would be wonderful. And then I remembered that I believe our own Dalton Villette was a second grade tour participant, so that could fold into the historic letter maybe. We do have template language so that it's not a totally from scratch letter. So when we're ready to ask for any said letters, there'll be a lot of support from myself and the grant writer. So it won't be us asking just straight out for a letter. So I just wanted to put that on your radar, that's kind of where we're at. October 1st is the deadline for the grant application. We're probably hoping to submit a week or two before that, just to get in a little early. Based on our first assessment, it was a very high figure for restoration to all 4 structures. So once we get our assessment report from Deep Roots, if it's in the same ballpark, then we're definitely going to be very strategic with the ask. The cap is $250,000. There's a 25% match. So we would really probably have to look at going in stages. So all of that, that's kind of the nutshell, but as it progresses, I can definitely get more detailed with you, but just wanted to let you know that's where things are. We're really moving things along, and it's exciting. Barn critters. I feel like we've managed the mice and the rat stuff, but now we have bunnies.
I saw that Rabbit Monday.
Yep, I did too. So when we did the site visit with History Colorado, I had everything open and they were just running around. I think they're hanging more so in the barn, but one ran out, and then when we were down by the Homestead House, they ran right back up the hill and right back into the barn. So unfortunately, the plan that we've had for monthly cleanings is kind of backfiring, because I think they're cleaning and then they're just right back in there. So I've talked to our pest control, but they don't normally handle bunnies. I don't know if we need a pet fox, pet hawk.
Well, there was a cat in the house, in the barn for a bit. Can we hire them?
Yeah. So I am going to talk to our critter control, but at this moment in time, I don't know what we're going to do. But I just want you to know that we're trying to stay on top of it, but they're just putting it out as quick as we're cleaning it out. So it may not be an option for there to be visitors in the barn on your next open day.
All these little rodent creatures have this ability to squeeze through these very small spaces. So
Yes.
Yeah, so I think the bunnies is probably the worst I've seen it. So
really,
yeah, it's just, the barn is just full.
reproducing like rabbits.
Because
They are. Minor memorial.
I was going to say, could you, if we're going to, if you don't think it'll be ready for this September 5th opening.
Well, see, normally it would be. Our critter person comes and cleans usually a day or two before your open day, but the issue is that by hours later, it's full again. So I just don't know if it can happen.
We could have people look in the door and not go in.
Yeah.
At least it's not hantavirus or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd get boots full of bunny stuff on your shoes. Yep. Okay, minor memorial, I sent out the photos of where things are within the clay process. So this, right now, this is clay. The artist wanted me to share with you that if there are no more changes or refinements, basically, the next step would be that the artist sends this to the Bronze Studio in Loveland.
Oh, it will be a lot.
Because I don't know if you all know, but the Bronze Studio in Loveland, I don't have the name at the top of my head right now, but there's a couple of Bronze Studios in Loveland, and they're nationally known. So it's really wonderful that they're here in our home state. So the next state, so it would be sent to Loveland. A mold would be made from the clay form, and that takes 2 to 3 weeks. Then they would begin the bronze casting process from that mold, and that takes a couple of months. After that, it would go back to Nebraska, to the artist studio, for further refinement and to add the patina to the bronze. And then after that, it would come back to Colorado again for installation, and the Bronze Studio would help with that.
So the artist is in Nebraska, you say?
Uh-huh.
Okay, had my mind's Arizona for some reason.
Yeah.
Larry, I just wanted to check, is that hat right?
Yeah, that's
With that
the,
cloth bit and the heart underneath the cloth?
in the what?
It's sort of a
The heart
heart.
is actually on top of the cloth, isn't it?
It looks like the cloth.
It looks like they
It's not
put.
cloth, that's the hard leather.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
It's, near as I can tell, it's all
Okay.
correct.
I have a question, and this is coming from Wally. Did we, at a meeting, agree on how he was going to be holding this shovel? Wally has some experience with these shovels. See, there's another handle right where his hand is there. And he says if you grab that shovel right by that handle where his hand is there, it's really, really hard on your wrist. And he said, did we ever talk about having it over the shoulder instead?
Well, me and Mary talked about that this morning, and my opinion is if he was just standing there and had just picked up that shovel, he would have held it that way until he actually wanted to move somewhere else and would put it over his shoulder or walk off. and
Yeah,
hold it
Right.
more.
it looks like he's getting ready to walk, like he's walking with it.
Yeah.
Because I remembered, we'd had a decent amount of conversations. We wanted him to kind of have the shovel in front of him in kind of a more solemn expression. But I kind of like actually how he's in motion with this.
And
Yeah.
in addition to that, it's most likely that the artist probably picked up and held that shovel to figure out
Oh,
if it felt right or
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
to, for that particular pose.
I bet you're right.
He's
Actually-
got a foot forward, so he does kind of look like he's walking.
Yeah.
I do remember now, we had some conversations because there's the other minor statue and he has the pickaxe above his shoulder.
And we wanted to
Yeah.
differentiate.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
But Wally, I think Wally's right. He wouldn't carry it that way. But when he just picked it up, you could pick it up that way and
Yeah.
then shift the grip.
I don't think he has
Yeah.
a problem with it, he just wanted to bring up the question. Because he said you really wouldn't carry it that way very
No.
far.
No, but you pick it up that way and then
Yeah.
shift your grip. Yeah.
Okay, then he had one other comment here, and I don't know if you can see well enough on here. He said that man looks like he's really just gotten a haircut. He said, he doesn't mean he should have longer hair, but maybe more hair or something, I don't. These are coming from Wally.
I just wonder if that's tougher to do
Yeah.
in bronze.
Yeah.
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 And I like, because you can see, like the eyes are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the facial
You can really
expression.
see the facial
Really hard to see
expression.
for sure.
Yeah.
It
The
is,
beard's
yeah.
good.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm zoomed in on the so, yeah.
Good show her.
Yeah.
He thinks he looks too clean cut, hair-wise.
So maybe just a little rougher,
I
little,
don't know.
maybe.
I like it the way it is.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
I think it'll appear differently too, once the bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's on his way to work. He's not coming back out of the
That's right,
mine.
it's not coming
Yeah.
out.
You know, when you zoom in, it looks a little like you, Larry.
What's that?
It looks a little like you when you zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Still,
maybe it was that picture I sent him.
We had talked a lot about boots. Are we all happy with the boots?
yeah, I looked at those.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the kind of unbuckled or something too, so it's real.
I think
Yeah.
it's
They're
so
used.
exciting.
I know.
Yeah, all in all, I
It
think
looks
we
really
we
good.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this has turned out really well. It has a very distinct, I think, feel to the other statue that we have. There's a lot of character with
Yeah.
them.
I'm
I
looking
think
at
so,
that
yeah.
hair. That looks a little not clean, too clean.
He's
Yeah.
got a beard.
Yeah, it kind of like.
He's got
goes
mutton
over his
chops.
ears.
Yeah,
Short mutton
nice
chops.
job.
Yeah,
I don't think you can really make it come out
no.
in
No.
clay and bronze, so that might be as scruffy as we can get.
I like the eyes are so much expression.
Yeah.
You did it great.
Yeah.
Another,
Scruffy
another
and-
day in the hole.
He looks serious, but not too sad, because he hasn't gone
Yeah.
down.
Stoic, yeah.
Stoic.
I like the old guy too. Let's have him do both of them.
I'll pay.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
All right. Very exciting.
It sure is.
So I think that was it. Cemetery fencing, unfortunately, I thought I'd have more of an update on that, and I don't. So not much to say there.
We just wanted it to be on the list.
Yeah, it's still on my list, so. And I think that's all I have for the most part.
Just going back to the minor memorial, if it's, the statue is going here and there, it won't be, we won't be putting it up this year.
The
So,
plan is for it to go up this year.
this
That's
year,
what I
even
thought,
with
yeah.
all this. back
Yeah,
and
it's
forth.
probably
Okay.
gonna be November, December.
Lot to
Okay.
get done in there.
Yeah,
Because we have like the one of the miners that died, we have his wife's wedding dress and all. So we want to sort of make we want to sort of have an indoor.
And we got some
Focus
photos
as well.
from them.
yeah,
so
I think by agreement and payment contract, it has to be done this year. Now, whether there's whatever ceremonial, anything, or ribbon cutting or anything, I mean, that can be planned anytime, but
And warm weather too. huh?
yeah, it pretty much has to happen this year.
Okay, thank you.
I want to plant a big old thing outside and have it snow.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
depending
If
on
it
who
gets us
knows.
snow,
If it's in November or honestly even early December, it could still be warm enough.
I want that probably in the summer.
All right. Any other items?
I mean,
And I forgot to say that the Historic Boulder people are looking for reenactors. A lot of the reenactors are graduating
Oh,
out of
I have
out of that. So if you want to play one of the characters in this Columbia Cemetery, I'll let you know who to contact.
Do they do jump scares? Jump scares?
Oh. Well, some of them are, they can tell their story about how they ended up planted there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The star.
Any other items? All right, hearing none. Do I have a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So that was a proxy from Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting in for him.
Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Good job.
Okay, see everybody.